Hey guys, what's poppin'? It's Star Peace. Welcome back to another video. So, I don't want to make this funny, but I laugh at myself all the time. This is like the first time I've recorded it in like 3 weeks. I have not posted a video in 3 weeks, and a bunch of stuff has been going on preventing me from posting a video in like 3-4 weeks. The first thing was some family complications, and then the second thing was just not having time because I was scheduled a lot on work. And then the third thing, which happened very recently, which was the surge in the Black Lives Matter movement. It's really interesting because the last video I posted was about 4 black queens on top of the music charts. And just this Tuesday, Blackout Tuesday, we were making sure to stop streaming music completely and stop streaming YouTube, and all these other big corporations stop buying from them in order to prove a point and show a message. I am here not to speak on that message and not to push a narrative or speak on things that I have no experience with, because as you can tell, I'm not black. And I can't speak on
personal experience. Yeah.
I can't speak on experiences that are heavily evolved around the black community when I'm not black myself. And that's not just speaking about the color of my skin either. It's also talking about my ethnicity. Like even if I was African American, I'm still of lighter complexion, and that still provides me more privilege than being of darker complexion. And so I would still not be able to speak on the black experience, the full dark-skinned black experience. I also want to say, before this whole video starts, I apologize if I say things the wrong way or don't use the right terms. Throughout my life, I've asked people like my friends and stuff that are black or are mixed, what terms are best and which ones aren't. So over my personal experience, I've learned what and what not to use in my experience. So I'm sorry if I offend you with any of the words that I say. If I do, you can check me below. Now that I've gotten that disclaimer out of the way, I have 2 friends here. I was originally going to do this video by myself because it is a very important type of video and it's very serious. But my friends are not mixed, but they are full-blown people of color. Not saying that I'm not, but I'm mixed with white and Puerto Rican, so it's a different type of, thing.
We're purebred Arabs.
And we still, we don't have to deal with, the fear of police because we have a lighter complexion as well. So we don't have, we do have, more privilege. We don't have the fear of, being pulled over and the fear of, being murdered by police and, just the fear of walking down the street. We don't have that just simply because we come off as a lighter complexion, as Lewis was saying earlier.
The only problems we get are really just at the airport, but other than that,
I made a list. They came here on just a whim of things. So I don't know if you guys have a mental list or anything you want to talk about, and I'll give you time to talk about it, but I do want to get to my list just real quick.
Password sad ho if you ever just need to open it.
So the first, this is not in any specific order. I wanted to make it in a specific order, but it's not. Is what I am, which I basically already said. We all already said what we are. I'm mixed with Puerto Rican and white. And when you look into Puerto Rican, it does say that Puerto Ricans are mixed with Indian, Africans, and there's one more. I think it's white. So, but I don't claim that I'm black because I don't claim that I'm Indian because I've never done a test to even say how much I am, and still, I've never claimed that because I just, you know what I mean? I think you guys would understand what I'm trying to say. I just have never, I don't have proof that I am, 1. And 2, why am I gonna claim an experience that I know for a fact I've never experienced my whole life? That type of thing. So that's what I am. So that's what I can relate to, and that's with my personal experience. They've already stated theirs and what they can relate to, so now you know our cards are on the table. The second thing that I wanted to go over was my own family. I was raised in the beginning of my life with my dad a little bit, not to get too into deep things, but he's gone now, and that's the way life goes. And in the beginning, it was fine, and I was accepted for who I was by my race and by my color, because I was a lot darker when I was younger, because I would be outside more, so like I would have a really darker complexion, darker than them, and they're darker than me right now. Well,
no, we've been inside mostly too.
Yeah, but I was really dark, and I can get really dark, and so I was like that for my childhood, and I was fine, and nothing was really bad with me until I moved here to Florida, and some stuff happened, and now I am racially denied from both sides of my family. And I guess that's the story of every mixed person, basically, is that you have like your white side that's like hating on your freaking Puerto Rican side and like making so many racist jokes about like going over the wall when you're not even Mexican, and even if you were, that's such a disgusting thing to say to your own family member. And yeah, so my family, and then you have my Puerto Rican side who isn't aggressive with their dislike to my white side, and they don't dislike my white side, but there is like
tension.
There's like a thing where like, oh, but you're not really fully Puerto Rican, so it's not the same, which is true. But it's the way it's presented in that side. But I still love them a lot more than my white side, but that's a different story for a different day. But that's what my family background is with race and racism, and so I still, over time, I've dealt with it more and more and more, and I've realized where I stand, and I definitely try to identify more with my Puerto Rican side because I've gotten more love from that side, and I just connect with that side a lot more, you know what I mean? So that's me. I don't know about you guys, if you guys want to.
I guess for us, like, we just got called names, especially throughout middle school, and it was...
Oh, yeah. I got called a sand N-word for quite a bit of middle school.
I've never heard of that before. That's interesting.
I got called terrorist a few times.
Oh, yeah.
And people were like, Allah Akbar, saying stuff like that. It is mostly... The people who did say those things to me, I can, like, point out two of them. I'm not going to name them. But they were both very Southern, very... And I'm not stereotyping, because I know not all of the people are like this, but, like, especially in where we are, racism is such a problem. Like, people are so quick to judge you, to treat you badly just because you don't identify, you don't have the same race as them. They are not willing to accept you and your culture, your ethnicity, and they need to, you know, like, you should never just look at someone and be like, oh, they're this race, so automatically they have all these stereotypes associated with them.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I wanted to mention was in this video, I'm not going to be tearing down white people either, because I am half white, and also I have experienced horrible situations with white people, and mainly white people, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to generalize that whole entire race. People do that with African Americans all the time, and that's disgusting. People do that with Asians. They just did that with Asians and the coronavirus, and I love Asian culture so much, and to see the Asians hurting so much, it made me as angry as this movement is with the Black Lives Matter, and why we're having a Black Lives Matter movement and a surge of it, because there always has been a movement, but the recent surge in it has been, of course, because of the George Floyd case, and every case rising. Before we get in depth with that, I did want to finish the list, at least the more, the stuff before we get into that, because I'll explain it later, but go over this and then we'll get into the main point of why I made this video. We didn't make this video to like be like, oh, well, we're hurt too, we get racist stuff done towards us and blah, 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 blah. That is not us. That is not how we are. We're there for you and we're allies for you. The reason why I started that with this video is because I wanted to make sure that I came in as open as I could, as we could, so that you guys know we are not trying to sit here and stand for
all lives matter type of thing.
Well, no, not just that. We don't stand for that, but that is a separate thing. What I'm trying to say is, we're not coming in here
to compare ourselves, I guess,
to the Black experience.
Right.
And that's why we're saying we're our own experiences, because maybe somebody else can relate with us, while also us stating we're not the Black experience. So when we speak, we're speaking on the experiences that we just prequeled or said before everything that we're about to say after that, if that makes sense. So the thing that I'm gonna say before we get into the movement and everything is the own conflicting thoughts. I personally was speaking to Janine the other day, and I was talking to her about my own conflicting thoughts leading into the movement going on, which is about the George Floyd case and how his words echoed through social media this whole entire, it feels like it's been a month, but it hasn't. It's only been 2 weeks, and I say that in a good way. It feels like it's such a big impact that has been going on forever, and it has been, but this case, I think it was only from 2 weeks ago, maybe, something like that.
Yeah. Maybe even just a week ago. Like, I feel like...
Or at least the surge of it has been recently. And his words have been echoing through social media, his, the I can't breathe words and many other words. There was an inspirational quote I think I saw from him. I don't remember what it said, but I remember it was from his words. And, where was I going with that? Oh, there are so many things going on right now. The first thing is the looting and the riots, protests. I have conflicting thoughts about everything. Well, I'm not here to say what's right and what's wrong, but I'm here to give both sides of the story. Not playing devil's advocate, but explaining what I've seen from African Americans in social media and from personal friends from that are African American. With the looting and everything, people say that it's not going to make a change and it's only going to hurt the meaning of the movement in the long run. Then there are other people that are saying, no, this is what they deserve. When there was a bunch of harsh stuff done to people of color, and that's a general term, that's why I'm saying that, they didn't care. White people didn't care. And so why should we care, hurting their bigger businesses like Target, Walmart, all that, you know, big corporations. And then there are other people saying, it doesn't matter if they're a big corporation or a small corporation, they're still getting funded by something, which is the main bank, so it doesn't matter, we're making a statement. And then there's another part, there's like so many other things going on with the looting and the protests, and people saying yes, people saying no. The Blackout Tuesday was a big thing too. People were like, oh, we shouldn't be blacking out ourselves, we shouldn't be not talking about stuff, we should be posting stuff on this day.
Oh,
and
Janine, tell them about the thing that one guy posted who got doxxed or whatever. I'm not sure of his name. He goes to our school. I'm sure some of you may have heard about it. I found out from a friend that someone on Blackout Tuesday posted the hashtag Whiteout Tuesday, which is obviously against the Blackout Tuesday. And of course, you know, he had a lot of backlash, like, good, you know, that's good, because he should not be saying stuff like that. And he ended up having to delete it, of course. But the fact that someone would do that, like, angered me. Like, I had no idea who he is. I just know that it was a student that goes to our school, and a friend of mine saw it, and she was also very upset about it. And it's just like, why would you do that at this time? Like, there's, like...
At any time.
At any time, exactly. It's not just this time. Like, at any time. Why would you try to protest this movement? It's things that have been going on for years. This movement has been going on for years. Of course, now it is more, I guess, prominent, if that's the right word.
I think prevalent, but I think both are the same thing.
But because of, you know, George Floyd and of all the other victims that have happened, like, this past year, and all, like, a lot more throughout the past, specifically because of their race.
I'll include the list, because I have a list of names. I don't think they're all the names, because there are a lot, and that's so sad, but I'll include the list of the names.
Right, and it makes me mad because, like, some of those who have been murdered by police never got the justice
like those police who have murdered them have not been punished for it. And the only reason those 4 officers who murdered George Floyd was arrested was because of media backlash, which like shows like, oh, you're only gonna do this because the media wants you to. You should have done this long before. Like, it's not just because the media wants you to. It's doing what's right.
Yeah.
Your job is to protect the people. It is not
Everyone, all people.
Everyone, exactly. Not someone should not have to fear their life by someone who's supposed to be like protecting you.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like, someone should not have to feel belittled, and it's unfair that those police, like, I'm not gonna say like every
No, just say it. Just say it. It is every single cop. It's not every single cop, but it is every single cop, because
who don't do anything to defend
those 4 cops, only one of them did something, but the other 3 did something by not doing something. And you can say all you want in my comments about all cops being this, all cops being that. I have some family members. Well, no, I don't have any family members that are cops. But I am afraid of cops myself, and I'm not even black. Like just because of the stigma behind them, which always proves true again and again and again. And it's not my fault that it's not our fault that in our lifetime we've seen police be the way they are. And you can check me if I speak on all of us and you don't agree with it. I just don't want to exclude you guys if you agree with me.
I'm kind of scared of police.
Yeah, see? And, but I do agree that it's not all of them, but it is a lot. And when you don't do nothing, when you don't do something that is doing something and it's hurting yourself, you can ask the 3 other cops that didn't do anything who just got arrested. To round off everything, because we're going on 20 minutes, and I want to try not to edit this too much because I want it to be authentically us. But to get on to one of my last points to bring up, because it was the most heart-wrenching out of everything, was the military. The people who are supposed to be protecting our country, as Janine mentioned earlier, cops are supposed to protect the people of the country. Military personnel are as well, but they also are supposed to be protecting the country as a whole, the land of the country. And for them to be told and listen to kill your own people for protesting peacefully is the most disgusting thing ever. And one of the reasons, I'm gonna be bold, disgusted to be an American, to have our own people kill our own people because of protests. That's not illegal.
Right. And I just want to add something real quick. I've noticed like people who aren't even in America protesting
in other countries. Paris.
That is amazing. Like, it's good that they're also protesting, but the fact that they have to protest with America, like, it's America. It's been a problem for so long. Like, a while ago, not a while ago, this was yesterday, I posted on my Instagram story, I saw something called systematic racism.
No, I think it's systemic, because I think, yeah, because the reason why I say that is
that a word?
No,
that's how it was spelled.
Yeah, it was, because I
read it systematic.
I read it systematic, and then Demi Lovato posted a video, and they said, this is systemic racism, and I said, what? And then, look up, it's systemic, I'm pretty sure, because it spells systemic.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's why I said it like that.
Yeah.
But that's how, and I watched it, and it is true. Like, I've noticed, like,
okay, you guys are right.
I knew it, see?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Janine, we're interrupting.
No, you're good, But that's what I posted, because, like, for people to say, oh, it's not even that big of an issue, it's not just police brutality.
It's a deeper meaning. It is such a
country as a whole. It's not just the police. It's not just like the military right now. It's literally, it's been embedded in our system since this country was basically built.
I was watching the video of the girl, of the daughter, I guess, of George Floyd, and she was basically, this is me paraphrasing, saying how her dad changed the world for the better, or something like that. I don't want you to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. But even if she didn't say that exactly, I agree with that type of statement. He was like, the crack in the mirror that like cracked the whole mirror kind of thing, even though this has been going on for years, and like there are things that happen like this all the time, that like things get riled up again and then it calms down and then things get riled up, and it's like at a point I want things to get riled up and stay riled up. Like people on Twitter were like, some people were like, okay, all cops are arrested now, let's stop protesting, and I'm like, what? And then you have some people that are saying like, great, this is step one, you still have that, what's that one girl's name, oh my goodness, I'm gonna put a picture of her, who, there, 3 of her killers, I'm pretty sure it's 3 of them, are still out on the loose. And they literally killed her. And they were cops. So, you know, this is a long process. This is a long race. Brianna something. Yes, that's exactly. Yeah, that's exactly who I'm talking about. And, it just needs to keep getting pushed. This message needs to keep getting pushed. And that's the point of this video. I don't care if some people think this video is a little too late. I don't care if people think it's too early. I made the video right now because I needed to like collect my thoughts, and I still didn't get everything out that I wanted to, but I don't want to make this an hour-long video. And I just want to say real quick, I respect the military and stuff like that. I don't want people to be coming at me talking about something, you're ungrateful, blah blah blah. It's the point that when you had protesters going up to the military, telling them, Keke Palmer was one person I loved that she did this. She walked up to a military personnel and was like, are you gonna walk with us? You're supposed to be protecting us, walk around us, protect us, protect the people, not protect the freaking
police
and president, for real, because the president's the one that executed them to go out and do stuff.
They're throwing tear gas, they're shooting rubber bullets.
So,
and those rubber bullets, I saw a picture, they're big.
Exactly, and they freaking hit someone in the head and she her head.
She was bleeding.
Exactly.
And I saw that, and it broke my heart again, because I was like, it was someone who was small. It looked like
she looked very young.
She looked young.
Whether she was only 12 or 22, that's still young. It doesn't matter the age, but yeah.
And the tear gas, if like the person has contacts in, I'm pretty sure like it can burn the contacts onto their like iris and stuff and permanently blind them or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, but
dangerous.
So I'm not trying to say I disrespect the military, but what I'm saying is when you have your own people, Keke Palmer, perfect example, coming up to you asking, please protect us, you are supposed to be protecting us, walk with us, come on, and they still say no. Thank goodness he kneeled, because if he didn't, that would have been messy. But come on, what are you're fighting for your country. We are your people, black people are included in your country. Come on, like, and I'm not in the military, so I can't really speak on anything, you know, your duties or whatever, what happens if you don't stand your post or whatnot. I'm not trying to, but I'm just saying it's pretty sad when your own people can't even trust the military either. Now it's getting to the point where you can't even trust the military, you can't even trust the police, now you can't even trust the military. Like, what? Freaking Canada's laughing at us. I saw this tweet, it was so funny, but it wasn't funny. It was like Canada thinks they're above a drug lab or something like that because of how crazy America is right now. And I hated that they used a drug lab as like the comparison to America, because we do have some benefits that other countries don't. But right now it's scary, it's sad, and it's very disgusting. Those are my final words, because we have to go soon. But what are your guys' final words?
I hear like the community, and I'm supporting you as much as I can. You know, I hope that, I think this movement, I really do hope that it does make such a big change to the point where like the racism goes down a lot more, and like the system changes so everyone is really equal and no one is above each other.
And
it's not fair.
I want to add one quick thing before you say anything. We need to see color, because I see some people talking about
I don't see color.
I don't see color, blah, blah, blah. And I used to think that way too, because I used to be like, well, if we're all just equal, if we're all just seen as equals, then it'll be so much better. No, because our past still exists, and African Americans' past still exists and still hurts them, obviously you can see, till this day. So for us to just forget color and forget cultures and ethnicities and all this other kind of crazy stuff that's beautiful and what makes us human is a crime in itself, because you're forgetting the pain and the beauty that some of these cultures and customs that have been brought to us through these people. I just want to add that.
Like, one more thing I'd like to add on to that. I'm sorry, Dio. But we do have a lot of I don't know what, dang it, I lost the words for it. But there are a lot of things that came from African culture that you can see, like, you know, different styles of music, you know, different styles of clothing that they brought. You know, and it is good to embrace your culture. It is good. Like, show, like, be proud of your culture. I know sometimes it's hard
like, because you might feel kind of scared too with how everything is going right now. But it's okay, like, to stand out and embrace your culture.
Even white people have culture. Freaking
Yeah.
I'm Polish and Italian too. Like, because my mom is mixed with that, and like, so like, even they have culture too.
Yeah, it's good to, like, know where you come from. It's good to educate yourself, not only where you come from, but about other cultures and, like, what you can do, like, in, like, different their different mannerisms,
Especially
where these people come from.
if you're in a community that doesn't educate you, like us don't get educated about race much.
I would talk, but we're already over 30 minutes.
No, it's okay, because I'm cutting some stuff out.
Okay. Well,
'Cause I messed up sometimes.
as you both know, I was off social media for a bit, but then Janine told me about, like, the George Floyd movement and everything. And, like, on the news, they made everything look violent and stuff. But then, like, after, like, looking on social media, there's been a lot of peaceful protests that I feel like the media hasn't covered enough,
Right.
because they want to make it seem like all bad and evil, but it's not. And even the peaceful protests, they're also getting hit with, like, rubber bullets and stuff. Like, shoot, I think it was TikTok or Instagram, I saw a guy, like, kneeling to the police, telling them, like, he loved them, he knows that they were there to protect them, and they arrested him. And he was literally just sitting there like, hey, don't fight the police, they're here to protect us. They arrested him, like, the only person who, like, stood out of the crowd was, like, on their side, trying to say not every policeman is bad, which, like,
But then they proved the point.
but then they just arrested him.
they proved the point.
Yeah.
That it is a big problem.
There's been a lot of, like, I don't know, peaceful protests, which, I don't know, I'm just trying to say, don't trust everything the media is showing you, because they only show the things that they know are going to get views, basically.
And that goes with social media too. Try to look up facts, because I know for this video we went off a lot of stuff on social media, but you also have to look for facts.
But that's, like, another thing. It's really hard to find stuff that's not biased.
Yeah, everything's
So-
biased. Even this video is biased, because obviously, if you're racist and you don't like black people or any people at all of color, then you're gonna hate this
Or
video.
anyone outside of your own race.
Exactly. So you're gonna hate this video, and so you're gonna think that this video is biased. So, because I don't know, like, get a life or something. But
You know?
We see you. We hear you.
we love you, and I hope this video
We
isn't
stand.
taken out of context. We stand with you,
Mhm.
and I really hope that I got all my words out clearly. And
And
yeah.
I want to say, I'm sorry, I know, like, the ending for me, I was, like, trying to figure out how to word things right, and it's really, like, hard for me to try
You're
to
good,
word
girl. I
things
did
right.
that out. Don't worry.
Yeah. I know, like, I was kind of stumbling. I'm, like, trying to think of how to word things right, so.
You're good.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Well, I'm back. I don't know how long. We'll see how the week goes. Things have been stressful. I'm trying to move out and going to college and stuff like that. You know, that's coming up soon. So, but thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys stay together, stay strong, and I'm not gonna tell you guys to like and subscribe like I usually do, because there are so many more important things to do in life right now. Go like and subscribe some black creators, black content creators, and support them, because right now they're the ones that need it, not me. True, I'm trash. Go give someone else some love. So we'll see you guys later. And again, I'm sorry if my words came out wrong. I really hope you guys understand this video, and if not, please leave some comments and I'll make another video clarifying some things if that's needed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you guys later. Keep your heads high. Bye. Hey, so if you watched this long, you're now watching a screen of I don't know what yet, because I'm not done editing, and I realized there were a few things that I forgot to mention because I was really stressed and overworked in the moment of making the video, because I wanted to make sure I got all my clear thoughts out. Sorry. Now that I'm watching over the video and editing, there are a few statements that I would like to make. This video, again, to reiterate, was not made to show how we get treated racistly, stuff gets thrown at us. No. Like I said, it was to show that we have been through racist experiences, so we understand racism, but not to the extent of the black experience. So everything that we say really has no effect unless you don't understand what's going on at all. Then our words have some meaning to it. I also wanted to stay. I'm telling you guys, I have a speech impediment. I also wanted to say that the reason for this video was also to show that there are multiple sides to this type of environment that's being created, and that not every side is wrong and not every side is right. I don't have a personal opinion on this because I am not African American, and again, I have never experienced a Black experience, so for me to say this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, is wrong in itself because I don't have a right to do that. So, me stating how I have conflicting thoughts doesn't matter that I have conflicting thoughts. But the point of what I was trying to say is there are conflicting thoughts in general from what I see in Instagram comments and Twitters, African Americans themselves, and I just wanted to vocalize some of the conflicting thoughts so that the people that might be conflicted in themselves, within themselves about the situation, knows that there are thoughts of all kinds, and none is right or wrong as long as you're for this movement in a positive and a flourishing way where something can become out of this. Because not only was the looting a problem, or not a problem, I should say, but I should say a conflict in itself, whether it should be done or it shouldn't be done, on what it should be done, on whom it should be done, on when it should be done. And not only the Blackout Tuesday was a problem, I didn't get to finish my statement because a story had started, but what I was trying to say is Blackout Tuesday was said to not happen because it was blacking out too many voices, while it was also being stated to happen to black out spending money on huge corporations that wasn't supporting Black Lives Matters. There was also conflicting emotions on whether people should be looting at all or white people should be participating in the protests and the looting, because looting is not what was meant to be coming out of the protests. It is an effect of being harassed and hurt by the military and the police, and when that happens, things get riled up and people get angry and people want change, so they go after these big corporations to try to stop the big things that are happening. I'm getting so riled up already. But what I'm trying to say is there were white people trying to frame things on Black people. There were white people spray painting Black Lives Matters on buildings when a peaceful protest was happening, trying to create some drama. There was white people going into stores trying to steal stuff, while Black people were just out there fighting for their rights, protesting peacefully. And that's another problem too. But we also need white people to protest with this type of problem. We also need them to stand up with us, not just on Blackout Tuesday, but every day. I say us, and I'm not Black, but I'm very passionate about this topic, and I'm very passionate about this movement. And those are the big topics that I really wanted to hit that I missed, because I was trying to let everyone speak and I didn't have a lot of time. So if you're watching or listening to this, I appreciate it, and I hope you understand that what this video was about. Alright, I think that's everything I wanted to say. I remembered one last thing, and I couldn't find it to include it in the video. There was this post I saw, and it was someone that posted, and it said, you want us to protest peacefully, and then it showed an image of the kneeling, for Colin Kaepernick kneeling, and it said, not like that. And then it showed another picture of Taraji P. Henson at, I'm guessing an award ceremony or something where she spoke up about, injustice towards Black people, and it was like, not like that. And then it showed another picture of, another type of protest that wasn't physically protesting, and it was like, not like that. And it was like, then you don't want us to protest at all. And I found that really empowering, and I wish I could have found that photo, because it spoke a lot of words. I just wanted to mention that because I found that really important.